Literally not done. So like to be honest, what really happened is we were like, we're gonna show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're gonna show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're gonna show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, shoot. They're like, if everything's not perfect and it's not done, and what if we're gonna change things? I was like,
we want it to go.
I literally brought the movie with me on the airplane. Like I have like a folder with like a disc, like a hard drive.
He is his agent is Ari Emanuel. He's a powerful Hollywood guy, and we all respond to Hollywood power. And there's a hypocrisy and a fraudulence there that the public is picking up on, and so that's really interesting.
Yeah, when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull, because you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in, because I felt like I don't want to just be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship.
Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Blake Lively's latest public appearance has ignited fresh controversy and could complicate her ongoing lawsuit. In court, she has emphasized fear, mental strain, and emotional trauma. Yet shortly afterward, she appeared on national television beside Ryan Reynolds, smiling, laughing, and even joking about the situation. This contrast has fueled intense debate. Did her upbeat, carefree appearance unintentionally weaken her legal claims, or is it part of a calculated strategy? When someone claims emotional suffering but appears cheerful before millions alongside comedy icons, it naturally raises questions about credibility, sincerity, and intent. Whether her appearance was a strategic move or a serious misstep is still uncertain, but it has unquestionably added a dramatic new twist to an already tense case.
I'm the costume designer on Gossip Girl, but anyone who works with me it's like drinking through a fire hose. You're like, wow, I come in and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's just because I really I find that fashion is storytelling. It's a way to message so much more than you can with words. Sometimes it's a silent way to message things. So the way that I come into a character is always through the fashion and through the costumes. So
in another interview, you said that your husband Ryan Reynolds, wrote part of that rooftop scene. Is that true?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would have to compare it to the original one, but that's 99% his. Yeah, he just added. Chrissy Hall wrote an incredible screenplay. It was one of the reasons that I wanted to do this film. But also there are natural tweaks and modifications that come in when the actor is hired, and you're trying to infuse your own personality and your own authenticity. And it's like women are people of multitudes, and I think that it was important to me that it didn't just feel like someone's interpretation of female gaze. Like it really was, this is what we like, this is what we listen to, this is what makes us feel these vibes. And we had an incredible music supervisor, Season Kent, and one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing. And he never edited a movie before. He just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one. And he has incredible taste in music. And we share the same composer as well from Deadpool and Wolverine. So there's a lot.
The situation surrounding Blake Lively has become so tangled that to understand this turning point, you have to go back to the beginning. 4 years, she was admired for her elegance, quick wit, and seemingly perfect marriage to Ryan Reynolds, making them one of Hollywood's most celebrated power couples. Justin Baldoni, on the other hand, built his career through successful TV roles and a growing reputation as a film director. When the two announced they were collaborating on the film adaptation of It Ends With Us, a story centered on domestic abuse and emotional struggle, fans expected a powerful and meaningful project. What no one anticipated was a legal firestorm that would overshadow the film itself. According to Lively, production was riddled with troubling incidents. She claims she faced workplace discrimination, inappropriate harassment, and retaliation after speaking up. Instead of supporting her, her attorney, Cebalona, allegedly dismissed her concerns and even launched a campaign to discredit her and damage her image. What began as a celebrated creative partnership has now unraveled into a high-profile clash combining Hollywood glamour with serious legal accusations.
So she's a serial fraudster due to the fact that she seems like a rather person.
Does a better job, in my opinion, of providing receipts and showing full context. He really sees this all the way through and makes sure we get to discovery and proves how disgusting some of these high-level celebrities.
Justin Baldoni, now positioned at the center of the controversy, is being portrayed by Blake Lively's camp as someone who used the media to paint her as controlling, difficult, and hypocritical. But Baldoni isn't staying silent. He has fired back with a countersuit that reads like something straight out of a Hollywood script. His legal response accuses Lively of defamation, emotional manipulation, extortion, and invasion of privacy, insisting he is the true victim. His side claims that her allegations are carefully constructed lies meant to destroy his reputation and wrest creative control of the project away from him. They argue she tried to dictate everything from marketing plans to final cut approval, despite not being an official producer. The result is a blazing two-sided legal showdown, Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni and Baldoni's countersuit against her. With neither side backing down, the standoff continues to dominate entertainment headlines.
Another reason that the public didn't respond well to this was because we have already accurately deduced that the both of you are raging.
Just when it seemed the case couldn't get any more complicated, Ryan Reynolds entered the picture, and his involvement sent the drama into a completely new direction. Known as Hollywood's golden boy, Reynolds built his career on sharp humor, perfect comedic timing, and a charming image that made him one of the industry's most bankable stars. To audiences, he's the face of Deadpool and the poster image of a lovable family man. But to Justin Baldoni's legal team, Ryan is part of the problem. In their countersuit, they formally named him, accusing him of helping Blake Lively coordinate negative media coverage. They claim that every suspicious headline, subtle rumor, and suggestive social post about Baldoni carried Ryan's influence in some capacity. At first glance, it sounds extreme. Would Ryan Reynolds really risk his carefully polished reputation to meddle in a behind-the-scenes media battle? Many people doubt it. But others point to the deeper reality. Ryan and Blake aren't just spouses, they're business partners. They share branding ventures, marketing strategies, and an expansive Hollywood network. If Ryan believed his wife was under attack, it's not hard to imagine him stepping in quietly. Legally, however, this opens the door to serious risk. One offhand joke, one stray remark, or one poorly timed appearance could be used as evidence that he's involved. And inevitably, that moment arrived. The stage was massive, the star-packed anniversary special of Saturday Night Live, filled with comedy icons, celebrities, and millions of viewers. Blake and Ryan walked the red carpet together, poised, smiling, and seemingly unbothered by the lawsuit hanging over them. That alone stunned many people. Blake had claimed she was devastated, anxious, and emotionally shaken, yet she appeared radiant, calm, and confident. Things escalated during a planned comedy bit, a Q&A skit led by Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, where celebrities were handed microphones to ask scripted, light-hearted questions. It was meant to be harmless fun. But when Reynolds got the mic, he smirked and delivered a one-liner that instantly shifted the tone. Why? What have you heard? The crowd roared with laughter, and the show moved on. But in the context of the lawsuit, that single sentence mattered. Whether intentional or not, Reynolds had turned a serious legal dispute into a public punchline. In that moment, the couple no longer appeared distressed, they looked like they were mocking the situation entirely. Social media immediately reacted. Users pointed out the glaring contradiction between Blake's claims of anxiety and her glamorous public appearances, now paired with her husband joking about the controversy. The narrative shifted overnight. What had been a private legal fight suddenly looked like entertainment content, raising questions about credibility, perception, and the danger of blurring reality with performance. To some, it may seem dramatic to treat a celebrity appearance as a legal turning point. Actors are expected to attend major events, after all. But Blake's lawsuit leans heavily on emotional distress, on the idea that Baldoni's alleged retaliation left her fearful and psychologically paralyzed. That argument becomes harder to defend when she's seen relaxed on red carpets, sitting comfortably in a comedy audience, and laughing alongside industry icons. Baldoni's legal team is certain to use this. Their argument will be simple: if she's truly traumatized, why is she willingly attending televised comedy specials and letting her husband make jokes about the situation? In defamation and workplace misconduct cases, credibility is everything. One inconsistency can crack the entire foundation. If a jury becomes convinced her public image contradicts her legal claims, the case could begin to collapse, and once credibility falters, it's often irreversible. But the courtroom isn't the only battlefield. Outside, another controversy was brewing around the very project that started everything. The film adaptation of It Ends With Us. Fans of Colleen Hoover's novel expected a sensitive promotional approach, given the themes of trauma, domestic abuse, and resilience. Many assumed the press tour would highlight survivor resources and treat the material with care. Instead, critics accused Blake of using the publicity to promote her own brands, including her alcohol company and a new haircare line. To many, it felt tone-deaf and in some cases, outright offensive. Social media lit up with backlash, especially from those who pointed out how alcohol misuse often intersects with domestic violence in real life. Interviews meant to discuss the film's message started to feel like ads for her products. Blake claimed she was simply following the studio's marketing strategy. But Baldoni disputes that, saying he has proof the promotional plan came directly from Ryan and Blake's own company. If true, the entire narrative changes. The backlash wouldn't be a studio misstep, it would land squarely on Lively. The controversy alienated the book's biggest supporters. Fans who expected a raw, emotional portrayal of a difficult subject instead saw trailers and ads that softened the darker elements, framing the movie more as a romance. Many felt the heart of the story had been erased. Their disappointment led to organic criticism online, criticism that cannot be blamed on any alleged smear campaign by Baldoni. If much of the backlash came from genuine fans rather than staged attacks, then Blake Lively's argument that Justin Baldoni orchestrated a media campaign against her begins to crumble. From Baldoni's perspective, things are straightforward. He didn't launch a vendetta, he defended himself. His team argues that the negative attention Lively received was the natural result of her own choices, contradictory public behavior, controversial marketing decisions, and disappointment from the fanbase. And in defamation cases, the source of the backlash matters more than anything. If Baldoni can prove that the criticism was organic rather than manufactured, Lively's claims of targeted harassment could fall apart entirely. Then there's the Ryan Reynolds factor. Baldoni has accused him of fueling the controversy alongside Lively by shaping narratives and boosting negative press behind the scenes. Ironically, the offhand joke Reynolds made on national television may have strengthened that claim. On SNL, in front of millions, he smirked and tossed out a line that sounded like a cheeky nod to the very lawsuit at hand. To casual viewers, it was just another clever Reynolds moment. To attorneys, it was legal ammunition, proof that the couple wasn't silently suffering, but actively stoking attention. This fits neatly into Baldoni's broader counterclaim, that the lawsuit is less about justice and more about power. He says Lively tried to assert creative control far beyond her contractual role, pushing to influence marketing and key decisions. When he pushed back, she escalated the situation into a legal war. If he can prove she repeatedly overstepped her authority, the story shifts from alleged harassment to a failed attempt at control. What emerges now is a portrait of Hollywood at its messiest, personal grudges tangled with professional pride, carefully crafted public images colliding with legal realities, and online fandom magnifying every misstep. The battle is no longer just about misconduct or defamation, it's about controlling the story. Whose version will win, in the media and in court? Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hold enormous influence. With massive audiences, brand power, and high-level media access, their reach is unmatched. Baldoni isn't insignificant, his career is respectable, but compared to Hollywood's golden couple, he lacks their cultural weight and media dominance. From the outside, the fight looks like David versus Goliath, but this time, David seems to have some compelling receipts, while Goliath risks tripping over its own image. To the public, the contradiction is glaring. Blake has portrayed herself as the victim of a ruthless smear campaign, emotionally shattered and nearly paralyzed by fear. Yet there she was, attending one of television's biggest comedy events, glowing with confidence, while Ryan turned the controversy into a punchline. In court, those moments don't disappear, they become evidence. Judges and juries may not rule based on optics alone, but credibility is fragile. When the version of yourself you present to millions doesn't match your sworn testimony, the inconsistency is impossible to ignore. And that's where this case could set precedent. Celebrity lawsuits are no longer fought only in courtrooms, they unfold in the court of public opinion, under the non-stop glare of social media. Every photo, interview, and joke can spread within seconds and shape perception. Courts know this too. Jurors don't live in a vacuum, they see headlines, viral clips, and commentary. The more contradictions emerge, the harder it is to support a narrative of crippling emotional harm. So where does that leave the lively Reynolds camp? One explanation is that they're simply too comfortable in their light-hearted public persona to realize the damage it can do legally. A well-timed laugh on SNL might feel harmless to them, but to Baldoni's attorneys, it's a gift. Another possibility is strategy. Maybe Blake and Ryan are deliberately projecting confidence to control the narrative, hoping to corner Baldoni into looking like the aggressor. If that's true, they're not stumbling, they're playing chess in plain sight. But until more evidence surfaces or a court ruling lands, everything remains speculation. What is certain is that Reynolds' line, "Why? What have you heard?" is now embedded in the legal timeline. To some, it was classic Ryan humor, quick, charming, perfect. To others, it was a ticking legal time bomb, a single careless moment that could unravel parts of Blake's lawsuit piece by piece. So the real question is this. Did Blake lively sabotage her own case by stepping into the spotlight and laughing through a legal crisis? Or are she and Ryan strategically rewriting the script to their advantage? For now, the answers remain unclear. But one thing is undeniable. In Hollywood, the drama rarely ends in the courtroom. It plays out on the biggest stage of all, public perception.